Hello everybody. Today's video is going to be about how acupuncture can enhance fertility. My name is Eric Hollander. I'm a licensed acupuncturist here in San Diego, California. I've been doing fertility for about 13 years and practicing acupuncture in general for about 20 years. So I'm going to be building up my YouTube channel with a lot more videos on this topic. So if you're interested in fertility or acupuncture in general, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And I'll have a lot more interesting videos to come. So let's jump into this. How does acupuncture help fertility? Well, first of all, acupuncture helps to regulate the menstrual cycle. Acupuncture can help improve the blood flow and regulating the endocrine system and neurotransmitters. Now, acupuncture can also help mitigate the effect of negative stress on the body. So what exactly does it mean to regulate the menstrual cycle? Well, in Chinese medicine, good fertility starts with a normal, healthy menstrual cycle. So that's the first thing we look to enhance and do, is to make sure everybody's having as close to possible a good menstrual cycle. So what we want is to try to get as close to 28 days, a lunar month. So not too short, not too much shorter, not too much longer than 28 days. We want to make sure that that menstrual flow is a healthy red color. We don't want brown. We don't want dark colors. We don't want clots. We want a nice, healthy, bright red color, and we want that to be for about normally 5 to 7 days. It shows there's a good lining there, and we want it to be relatively pain-free. We know that everything is free-flowing. Okay, we also want to try to get ovulation to around 14 days. We don't want that happening too early or too late. 14 days is the ideal time when the lining is going to be ready and the egg is going to be the most mature for ovulation. So another sign that things are operating correctly is that there's going to be very little or no PMS symptoms. So we want to basically have a pretty comfortable regular menstrual cycle. All right, so in Chinese medicine, we really like to break down the menstrual cycle into four phases. So it's a 28-day lunar cycle, and each phase is going to be approximately 7 days. So it may not be exactly, but it's approximately what we're looking for. So your first phase is going to be the menstrual phase, and like we said before, it's going to range from about, normally 4 or 5 to 7 days. If it's too short, much shorter than that, then we don't consider that too healthy. And if it's excessively long, there could be also problems. So we really want to try to correct that phase. That's very important. So we usually start treating right around this phase. Now the second phase is the follicular phase, and that's basically when you're kind of leading up to ovulation. The eggs are developing. They're getting ready to mature, and so we want to make sure this phase is correct. It's one of the most important phases, so ovulation can happen correctly. We don't want it to happen too early, have an immature egg. We don't want it to happen too late, have an excessively mature egg. All right, so the ovulation phase happens. You should be getting your LH surge, your ovulation predictor kit. Should be indicating ovulation approximately right around day 14, maybe a few days earlier or later, but not too much off than that, preferably. And then the luteal phase is the final phase, and this pretty much carries us all the way up to the period, if there is going to be a period. All right, so all these phases have to operate harmoniously in order to have a good fertile environment. And so like we were saying before, if one phase is too long or too short, it can disrupt fertility. So if one phase is stuck or delayed, it can disrupt fertility. So here's some examples. If it's taking too long to ovulate, maybe the egg is having trouble maturing, and maybe it's never quite getting mature. Or if you do ovulate very late, maybe the lining is no longer in a good state at that point, and it's getting ready to break down and have a period. Another common thing is called the luteal phase defect, where the luteal phase doesn't sustain long enough, so you can't really get an implantation because the lining is already starting to break up and get ready for a period when implantation is trying to occur. So everything is really important with the timing. With fertility, sperm has to meet egg, and the embryo has to hit the lining at the right time. The hormones have to be secreted at the correct time for fertility to happen. So this is kind of our goal with acupuncture. So this is why when we're treating with acupuncture, we generally like to treat during each of the 4 phases. So now, usually one of these phases we're going to find is going to be a little bit out of balance when we're doing our initial exam with you. So we're gonna definitely give emphasis to that phase during acupuncture treatment. We may want to treat that an extra time, twice during that week. Typically, we go for about once a week because we're kind of helping each phase along, and each phase needs a little bit of acupuncture normally. But sometimes there's a troublesome phase, and sometimes we want to give most of the emphasis to that phase. And another phase may be working really well. We may want to let that one go and skip that week. Okay, so Chinese herbal formulas are given oftentimes in conjunction with acupuncture, and they're given in a very similar way. Sometimes we find the right formula that the patient needs, and we can give that all month long. But sometimes we're kind of getting a little more involved. We need to do a certain formula before ovulation, or one to help ovulation, or one just for after ovulation, so the patient's taking two. And sometimes we're really taking a formula almost three for every phase of the cycle, because each phase may need a little bit of help. So we're helping to move blood during the period for a certain formula. We're helping to bring the patient up to ovulation, help those follicles develop with a second formula, helping ovulation with a third, and supporting that luteal phase with a fourth. Now, each of these phases kind of require a different strategy, and they're probably going to require separate videos, and that's what I plan on doing. So I'm going to be breaking these phases down and discussing them, some of the problems people have with them, and how we treat them with some of my future videos. So please subscribe if you're interested in hearing about this and hearing about some new content. I'm also available by phone for consultations and treatments. My office phone number is here on the page, 619-817-6447. And I want to thank you very much for watching. And take care, and we will see you in the next video.